So I went to go see Baby Driver the other day, actually when it was released, which was a long time ago, and it was awesome. Actually, it was directed by Edgar Wright, who is one of my favorite directors, just because of the fact of how many nights I've had watching his movies with friends and just having a blast because of how just funny and unique and how very style over substance his movies seem to be, but they still have pretty good substance, which is sort of a useless analogy. Anyways, I don't want to make this video clickbait, so I'm probably gonna title it something like My Epiphany or something like that. And the reason why is because when I was a kid, I had my ear bit. I wish that I could show you the scars, but I don't think they're very visible, and definitely I'm the only one who can film them. I got bit on the ear, and a dog tore my ear very, very far. It was very bad, and I went for like very many operations, and I've had ear problems to the point where I can't hear in this ear anymore very well. It's only about 30% or something. I can't remember the exact number, and I'd be lying if I gave you an exact number, but it's very tough to hear from it. I don't have direction when hearing anymore, so sounds the same to me. So when I 7.1 stereo doesn't matter to me. But the worst part is that it's left me with this ringing all the time in my ear, and it used to keep me awake at night and make me hate my life. Like it was just the worst. It was, I don't know, it was worse than with the feeling of having an open wound. To put things into perspective, it was terrible. I know I need to shave. So I watched Baby Driver, and in the movie he has tinnitus, and it is a similar form to the tinnitus I have. In fact, it is the form of tinnitus that I have, which is not from an overly loud noise, it's from an injury. And probably from his eardrum bursting, like mine did. Mine got sucked in, but it's effectively the same thing. So the two ways to get it is to have like a loud noise. If you listen to music too loudly for a prolonged period of time, you'll get it. And if you watch any of my streams, you'll see that I always have an earphone in my right ear, because I'm always playing music in my right ear all the time. Even when I go to sleep, I have music playing in my right ear. And the epiphany that I had, that I've been speaking about for 2 minutes now and 40 seconds, is in the movie he has the exact same thing, and he's listening to music all the time. And it is so damn good to feel represented in a way in a movie. And I know that this is not represented entirely, and it's not even worth saying this, because it's not a true representation or anything like that. It is not a racial thing, it's not a gender thing, it is not a mass market thing. It is representation of the tiniest form. And the epiphany I had is that I used to think people were so stupid. I don't care about Asian actors or women actors. I don't care about people being white or black or whatever. And for the first time in my life, I felt like, wow, they took a problem that I had and represented it. And it felt really good. And now the epiphany I had was maybe people, when they think about whitewashing, or maybe not whitewashing, because that's like a very, very broad, that's a very broad term. But for example, like stereotyping and stuff like that, to have someone represent you and not be represented as a stereotype, I can totally see why people are happy about that now after watching Baby Drive and having a sort of like an epiphany of the similar experience. You can actually see the pizza I had yesterday. And I just thought I'd make this little video on it just to sort of explain. It's very hard for people to accept opinions that go against theirs, and that's human nature, surprisingly. It's human nature. And I am so glad that human nature did not trump over logic for this time. It might just go ahead and do it again tomorrow. I might think something stupid because I've never experienced it, but this was an eye-opener in a big way, and I think watching Baby Driver matured me a lot as a person, because now I'm looking out for those events. I'm looking out for something that I don't understand. I now look at things a little bit differently, thanks to that movie. And it's not that movie in particular, but it is that experience that I had from watching that movie that made me think, well, there's a whole nother side of things that I'm missing. And this is so serious. It's not meant to be serious. It really isn't. And this is not even meant to be about me. This is just meant to be like, hey, this fucking happened, and it might happen to you. It might like, I don't know. Because I definitely wasn't like this when I was younger. And I'm 21 now. 22, maybe, when you're watching this in the future. But yes, it was just such an eye-opener. It really was, because it just, I don't know. It's like I can say to someone like, I have tinnitus, so I listen to music all the time. And they'll be like, oh, like Baby Driver. And I'll be like, exactly. He's listening to music to try to get rid of this ringing that keeps you awake at night. You know? And it's just like, it just makes things simple. It makes things easy. It makes things better. You know? So now, I was friends with this. Obviously, I come from South Africa. Majority black people. Majority of Hollywood movies did not have black leads, and I never thought it was such a big deal, but now I'm starting to think maybe they're feeling exactly what I'm feeling. You know? Not that tinnitus is underrepresented. I don't think it is. I really don't. But the idea is interesting, you know? Because there's lots of things that people have that are not represented at all, you know? Like really long nose hairs. You know, like people might have really long nose hairs and have a disease that causes your nose hairs to replicate like a forest. You know? Anyways, I thought that would be interesting to talk about. 2 vlogs in one day. What up, dude? Anyways, YouTuber out.